What is up, guys? Jake from OneHive here with the next Clash of Clans video, and this is week 4 picks, the forecast video, and finally, I have got the two legends both in the same place at the same time, PB and Clash with Ash. What's going on, guys? Welcome.
What's up, Jake? Thanks for having us, man.
How you doing, Jake?
Awesome. Glad to have you guys here, although I'm a little bit embarrassed. I talked a little trash last week, and I got my hat handed to me. Ash, man. Killed it.
Hey, what can I say? I told you off the air that even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while, and that's what happened week 2 or week 3.
Obviously, not too blind over there, my friend, with correct picks.
I'm hoping to repeat that success in week 4.
Well, it was a crazy week. No one will argue that, but you made some really good picks. So props there. Powerbang went 8-7, and I was 7-8, bringing up the rear. So I'm gonna have to redeem myself here in week 4.
It was a random week, though. Like lots of upsets this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll touch on some of those matches. Some crazy. If you missed week 3, you need to go back and watch some stream replays, some recap videos. It was insane. Probably the craziest week. Maybe that we'll have all CWL season 2.
I hope there's more like it, because this was kind of fun when you don't know who's going to win at any given week.
Well, speaking of, there is some tough picks. I was going through the list for week 4, and honestly, I had some trouble picking some of these. So let's dive into it. Obviously, the first war is going to be a little bit of a strange one here because we got Dark Looter Z versus Beast Mode. But what I'm understanding is the clan The Lost from the Rising League, or is it Premier League? I'm sorry.
We got Dark Looters, not Z.
I'm sorry, not Dark Looters, excuse me. I got them on the brain after that throttle.
Freudian slip there by Jake.
Yeah, exactly. Dark Looters versus Beast Mode, but correct me if I'm wrong, the Lost will be moving up and taking on Dark Looters.
That is correct. Beast Mode is going to be removed from the league, and they will be replaced by the Lost for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, and a great streamer, Monster D-Face. That's sort of his clan. He represents them on the stream stuff. So another great option for people enjoying the content. But man, what a rough welcome to the league.
I know. Hey, Monster D, welcome to the league, man. You got the Dark Looters. Good luck.
Yeah, that's rough.
So I think that goes without saying. I think both of you guys are going to pick Dark Looters here.
I got to go with the Dark Looters, man. I think that they're just top notch. I mean, they're one of the top clans in the league, if not the top. Just super talented, and stats wise, it supports that as well. So welcome to the league, The Lost. But unfortunately, I think the Dark Looters are going to walk away with this one.
I agree. I think that Dark Looters, continue to, after that week 1, nail biter, they continue to be dominant since then. So I'm definitely going with Dark Looters coming off a 7-star victory to North Remembers. I think they're going to keep rolling in that momentum, and who knows when their next loss is going to be, if they even have one.
Well, I will agree. I will also pick Dark Looters, but would it not be insane if the Lost came in and beat them? Just like, boom, what's up? We're here. That would be awesome. So,
what was their record?
The theme of the season, man.
Do you know what their record was in their league before they coming up, or were they just 3? Were they the top team, or how does that work?
I honestly don't know.
Oh, okay,
that's a great question. Maybe I should have background checked that.
We should have known that.
Started talking about it.
Amateurs, yeah. That's all right.
I'm gonna pretend. You know what? They did great. They were 3-0, so they got brought up. They got the call up, from the minors, and time to prove themselves.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. All right, let's move on. Clantanimo Bay versus Faked Wargasm. This one I'm really interested to hear y'all's thoughts on.
Really? Well, in this particular matchup, both these clans are solid. Faked Wargasm's been doing some work over the last couple of seasons. They did get a little bit of a rough treatment last week by Spartan's Legacy. Clantanimo Bay, gave War Whales a pretty good run. They had a few things not fall their way, and they lost a fairly close war there. But I gotta give Faked Wargasm the edge in this one. I don't know what it is. I think it might be from playing both clans, like just my personal impressions. I feel like Faked Wargasm is just slightly ahead of CB. Now, I could be proven wrong, and I hope that I am. I hope those CB guys use this as fuel for the fire.
Yeah, I'm going to actually go against Powerbang here. We're going to rub the Ash's lucky rabbit foot here, and we're going to go with Clantanimo Bay here. And I think that both teams coming off really, really awful matchups in week 3. You had Guantanamo Bay, as you said, go against War Whales. They gave them a really good fight, as you said. It was a very close battle, and of course, Fake Wargasm losing to Spartan's Legacy, and a little bit closer to a blowout. Well, 5 stars, but still, in CWL, it's almost a blowout. I'm gonna say that I don't know. Guantanamo Bay impressed me staying that close to the War Whales, who have been absolutely on fire. So I think that they have a lot of momentum. I'm going to go with Guantanamo Bay.
Man, I like it. And you don't know how close I was to picking Guantanamo Bay as well, but I'm going to have to go with Fake Wargasm, and it's sort of just more of a feeling. It's really not based on... I think both clans are good and strong, and I think it's going to be a 1, maybe 2-star war, but I'm just going to lean Fake Wargasm. But honestly... There's just a little voice in the back of my head saying Guantanamo Bay is going to win it, but if I got to put my money on it, I'm going Fake Orgasm.
Ash gains another point off you guys.
Yeah, I know. I should have learned.
Or does he fall behind?
Hey, I'm hot. I'm hot. You can't
right.
bet against me here.
That's right. All right, Power COC versus Suomi Copcat.
Oof, that is a tough one. Again, another matchup that I feel could be incredibly close. Power COC came into the league, they dropped that opening week, and they've played better since then. They got a win last week against Buy Forever, so that's pretty solid, in their favor. Buy Forever has been a very good clan so far this season. Suomi, though, picking up another win, and they're now sitting at 2-1. I'm going to give the edge this week, though, to Power COC in a nail-biter. I've got them by a star.
Nice.
Do you want to go in the same order every time? It feels like Powerbang's at a disadvantage.
I am at a disadvantage.
Listen,
I can handle it.
We'll do 3 at a time. We'll do 3 at a time just to make things fair. We'll switch it up.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. I'm actually going to go against Powerbang again. Now, this one was a very, very close one for me as well. I actually originally had Power COC written down on my little cheat sheet here, but I'm actually going to go with Sumoy. I can't freaking say their name, but you guys know. I'm going to go with Mortal Cockcat.
Mortal Cockcat.
And my scientific reasoning for this is that they beat us by more than Buy Forever beat us by, and Buy Forever just beat Power COC. So if you can follow that logic, it makes sense to me, and that's what matters in my vote.
You mean just lost to Power COC? Yeah, I got your.
You got what I'm saying there?
Yep.
Yeah. So like by that mathematical equation and a little bit of astrology mixed in, I'm gonna go with Cockcat.
I think it's going to be a close one. I do, but I'm going to go with Powerbang. So I'm going to go Power COC simply because of Suomi's performance last week. I mean, they played Killer Bunnies to 1 star, and there's almost no clan struggling at the moment like Killer Bunnies is. So it just wasn't something that I thought, man, look at that, they're turning the corner here. So
cut to the Killer Bunny subscribers, thumbs down in the video.
Hey, we got to be real. We got to be real. But no, I think it's going to be close. But I do think that Power COC will win this one. So we'll see. It's going to be another good war.
Jake and PB ganging up on Ash again.
I know.
I feel bad for you guys. It's embarrassing. This is your game. This is your game.
Sidebar on Suomi Cotcat. They actually have been tuning into the videos apparently, because when I was going around to the clans this week to collect footage, they had in their clan description they are now Tsunami Kit Kat.
Nice.
Yeah, so they've been listening, Jake.
And next week they're going to be Suomi Mortal Kombat. Cockcat.
Mortal Kombat, yes.
I like Tsunami Kit Kat. I can pronounce that.
All right. So Powerbang, lead us into the next one. We'll switch it up.
All right. So we left off. Let's see here. Where are we at on the list? It's Elite Gaming and Cold September. So, after Ash's own heart, we had Elite Gaming coming off a big win last week. Can they do it again? We'll see. Let's kick it to Ash to start off this round.
Well, obviously, I'm going to go with Elite Gaming here, and I actually have good reason to do so this week, unlike last week where, it kind of felt like I was just picking the underdog because that was my hometown team. But we beat Immortal Thieves, granted on a tie, but still for us, that was a huge victory. Immortal Thieves definitely, in my opinion, in the top half of the league in terms of talent and skill goes. So that was a huge victory for us in terms of, you don't want to start off 0-3, and you certainly don't want to you certainly want to pick up some significant key victories to keep morale up along the season. So coming off that big win for us in Elite Gaming, and going against Cold September, who, of course, they were the underdog that shocked the world, beating OneHive 2.0 last week. But Cold September still, having a little bit of roster issues. Hopefully, this should be a good opportunity to carry some momentum into week 4 and hopefully go 2-2 going into week 5 for Elite Gaming. So I'm going to go with Elite Gaming.
Awesome.
Man, I like it. I like the reasoning. I like the pick. I'm going with you. I think Elite Gaming may have turned the corner. Big win last week. Man, that one came out of nowhere. It was like, nobody was really giving Elite Gaming a legitimate shot at that, at least not that I had heard. And just boom, wins the tie. I was super hyped, super impressed. So I think you're right. I think Elite Gaming's on a roll. I think they're going to continue to be a tough clan. As you guys learn, as you experience this more and more and more, it's just going to get better and better. So, yeah, I think Colt September, no disrespect to them. Obviously, very proud of them for winning last week, but Elite Gaming gets the win here.
Yeah, and just before Powerbang goes too, I think that our goal is to be scrappy and not be like a pushover win, and to contend, Obviously, we love to win it all, like every other clan would, but I think number one is we don't want to be a bye week, and we're hopefully proving that,
For sure.
I couldn't agree with you more, Ash. I feel like, a lot of people were talking crap about Elite Gaming when this league started.
It's true.
From the very beginning, I was like, no, they absolutely 100% belong. We've played you guys in WHF. We played you guys 3 or 4 times. And I've always been very impressed with the product that's put out. And to go to that point, we played you guys yesterday in a random war. Yeah. And it was epic, like epic.
That was epic.
It was like one of the coolest wars I've ever been a part of, and it wasn't even planned or arranged or anything like that. So just knowing what I've seen from Elite Gaming over the past several months, I've got a pretty good feel on what Cold September has, as well as we've recently brought them into the WHF fam, and we're now operating as sisters, basically.
Nice.
So I got a pretty good feel of both rosters, having played and, supplying players and that kind of thing. I got to go with Elite Gaming in this one. They were extremely impressive this week, basically, in a random war, putting up 114 stars. So very nice work to the guys there, and especially coming off a huge win against Immoral Thieves, which I don't think anybody had Elite Gaming winning that one, including myself. Immoral Thieves had been one of the most dominant teams in the league to date. So yeah, I gotta go. We're giving Elite Gaming the clean sweep. It looks like over Cold September. I think this is the first one that we all agreed on, is it not?
Well, aside from Dark Looters, but yes.
Dark Looters, yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. We had that one. All right, cool. Well, that wraps up that one. Let's take a look at PWC and Kansha. Who do you got in that one, Ash?
That's another tough one. I think that, just watching some of the streams over the last week, it seems like Kansha is a crowd favorite. To me, just being an ignorant idiot, I'm not too proud to admit that I had never heard of them before CWL. But that being said, they definitely have impressed me so far. But that being said, I think that PWC is really still a powerhouse. They beat War and Glory last week by 1 star. I think they're going to continue their winning ways here. I'm going to go with PWC.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. I would agree. I think Kansha is good. I mean, obviously, we'll talk about it when we get a little later, but getting that win last week, a surprising win, I would say, over WHF by 1 star. I would say that they're maybe turning the corner as well, maybe coming into their own, but I'm not sure they're ready for PWC yet. I think it's a pretty safe bet that they're going to get the win.
Good picks, guys. I'm going to also give it to PWC, being very familiar with Kansha and what they put out on, the weekends. We just faced them last weekend in WHF, and we controlled every single part of that war. It was a pretty dominant, performance, with the exception of like 4 attacks. And it's just the way it goes. Sometimes WHF did not execute on their dips, and that gave Kansha the window. So knowing what I've seen from them, and also what PWC is capable of coming out and putting up like 114 against War and Glory last week, I got to give PWC the nod by a couple stars this week. Although Kansha will compete, they're a scrappy clan that they execute. I don't think they'll go above and beyond as far as like their score or like what they're gonna accomplish on the Town Hall 10 and Town Hall 11 game, but they'll be a respectable opponent that'll make it a close war. But I got to give PWC the edge.
Nice. All right, lead us one more in, PB, and then we'll switch it up again.
Sounds good. We got 6 Schlitzes and Mariana Trench. It's an interesting matchup. Ash, what do you got?
In this one, I think I picked, well, I don't think, I know I picked Mariana Trench every week. They were my picks to win or my dark horse to win the entire thing. Both teams coming off a loss last week. I'm going to stick with Mariana Trench. I think that they've underperformed a little bit early on the season, but I still think they're capable of coming on strong here. If I look back, Mariana Trench lost to Reddit Omega by 4 stars last week. I didn't tune into any of that, so I'm not sure how close it actually was, but Reddit Omega is definitely one of the hottest clans in the whole CWL, so that's not saying a ton. And obviously losing my place here. Where the heck am I? Okay, and yeah, also Six Schlizzles coming in with a loss to the Swarm.
He's named another one.
Yeah, I know, right? This is going to be a Ash meme central here. But the Swarm really handily took care of them as well. So I don't know. It's a close one for me. I'm going to go with, again, Mariana Trench.
Nice. I like it. I like that you're sticking with your dark horse because I'm not. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, I've given up on my dark horse. But
bye forever after a 1-star loss. You're giving up on them.
Yeah, I'm giving up. They broke my heart. They broke my heart, man. All right, but I am gonna pick 6 Schlitzes on this one. Yes, they lost
the
to the
Schlizzles.
Swarm.
You mean
The 6 Schlizzles? Yes, they lost to the Swarm, and it was a pretty convincing loss. But the Swarm's just a bunch of savages. So I think Mariana Trench has really been one that has surprised me that they haven't done better this season. So I think I'm gonna have the Schlizzles grabbing this one.
So you guys sound like friggin' I don't know why can't even remember his name right now, but yeah, the I'm killing myself. I'm completely drawing a blank. I work with him almost daily. Shubaloo. Jeez Louise. You guys sound like Shubaloo. He's always butchering 6 Schlizzles. It's hilarious.
For Schlizzle, my nizzle.
So taking a note from Shub's book. But anyway, we have an interesting matchup here for sure. 6 Schlitzes has had a solid, solid opening to this season so far, but they stumbled a little bit against the Swarm. I look for them to bounce back against Mariana Trench. Mariana Trench has the 5th lowest stars for total, that they're getting per war in the league. So, they are losing wars, but it's not like they're coming out and, putting up a bunch of stars and losing to somebody that had their best game or something like that. They're just not performing right now. So I look for 6 Schlitzes who has, so far this season, they've taken the heaviest breakdowns of any clan, the most 10s and 11s and whatnot. I look for them to have an edge in this one, and I think they're going to win by a couple of stars over Mariana Trench.
All right, PB with the tiebreaker. So Ash out in the cold again.
I know. Mariana Trench, you can't let me down, guys.
Yeah, that would be a big win. That'd be a good win for them, too. All right, Ash, lead us into about 3 of them here, and then we'll continue on.
All right, sure. First. We have Emphatic Elite versus OneHive. Shocker, it's 2 clans. I can pronounce their names.
Nice.
That should be a win in itself. But I'm actually going to go. This is actually, I don't know, OneHive after the loss last week, and Emphatic Elite after, what did they have, a 1-star win, I believe, last week? Yes, over Reddit Alchemy. Man. A little Emphatic Elite, I think, have turned some heads with their performances being above what some people thought going into the season. So I wouldn't discount them or count them out, but I'm still going to go with OneHive here in a bounce back performance.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm from OneHive, so I'm going to have to agree with you. But I will say this, I know I'm going to get some hate here because Powerbang's always getting the hate from them. If you look at Emphatic Elite's wars thus far, very close wars, and just to be blunt about it, not the highest level of competition that's present in the league. At least, just looking at the clans and their records and whatnot. So I feel like while they've done really well, they're 3-0. You can't discount that. I think they're going to get to see maybe that next tier up in OneHive. Obviously, we're coming off that loss to Dark Looter Z. So I think the guys are going to be fired up. I think they're really going to get to see some of the best OneHive's got to offer. So clearly, I'm going with OneHive.
It's interesting you mentioned that, Jake. I was going to hit on the same point, to be honest with you. Emphatic Elite has come out thus far, and what I always say in WHF is, we can't control what's in front of us. All we have to do is go out and perform, It's not like it's their fault that the schedule had 3 quote-unquote easier clans, I guess, for the sake of, Invite League, and that's not to knock those clans either.
No.
This league is legit top to bottom, man. But EE coming out, getting it done. To your point, they're averaging 109 stars per war. For a 3-0 clan, that's incredibly low. So, I haven't seen anything like uber impressive from EE. But at the same time, they're taking care of business. They're coming away from these wars with wins, and that's what a good clan does. That being said, I agree with you 100%. OneHive currently is kind of the next tier up as far as opponents. It'll be interesting to see how EE handles that. They've got some talent on that roster for sure, but I see OneHive edging them out in a close war.
Nice.
All right. So next up, we have Annihilate versus Midwinters. And I'll make this one short and sweet, guys. I picked against both of these clans last week, and one proved me right, one proved me wrong. Annihilate actually lost. Midwinters beat one. Who did they beat last week?
Tactical Inc.
Tactical Inc. So I'm going to have to go with the team that I picked against last week, who actually won, Midwinters. So I'm actually going to go with Midwinters, even though I think that it could be a close war.
No, I agree with you. I think your pick is good on this one. Midwinters, a nice win last week against Tactical Inc. Again, not just a slough-off clan. That's a good clan, a good win for them. So maybe another clan that's trying to turn the corner, start to string together some wins. And Annihilate seems like nothing but struggles. So I'm agreeing with you on that one.
I see, guys. So I'm going to be on the outside looking in on this one. I'm taking not Midwinters, but Annihilate in this one. Midwinters comes off last week. They played a Tactical Inc., and I don't know what happened to Tactical Inc. last week, but there was only 4 Town Hall 11s in the lineup, and they didn't even manage 89% total destruction, which is like really low. And I don't know what went wrong there, but they didn't get the best punch from Tactical Inc. by any means. This week, they're going to have Annihilate. Annihilate still is looking for that first win, but they're playing people fairly tough, and I feel like, it's a battle of two teams that are really trying. They're grasping at something to try to make sure that this season goes in the direction that they want it to, but I think Annihilate's going to pick up that first win next week.
Nice. I like the varying pick there. All right, one more for us, Ash.
All right. Next up, we got War Whales against OneHive 2.0. OneHive 2.0 last week lost in what we mentioned before, a little bit of an upset to Cold September, who were playing shorthanded, even though, definitely nothing against Cold September. But I was surprised by that one. I think all of us picked against Cold September, and they pulled off the victory there. So with that said, for me, it's a little bit of an easier pick compared to some of these other ones. I'm going to go with War Whales. They're on a hot streak. OneHive 2.0 is faltering a little bit. So War Whales for me. Jake?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I don't think this is a hard pick for anyone to make as far as safe money goes. Now, could 2.0 pull out the win? Of course, maybe that lit a fire under them last week is, again, not a loss that anybody expected them to take. But as you said, War Whales so strong right now. I mean, how do you bet against them until something happens?
Yeah, I agree with you guys. War Whales, to me, is the clear favorite in this one. They're putting up 96% total destruction every war and 115 or more stars. There's no way that OneHive 2.0 rather is going to catch that. So unless War Whales has something catastrophic happen where they just don't bring their C game, then they might have a crack. But yeah, War Whales should dominate this matchup.
All right. Good picks. I like it. North Remembers versus Killer Bunnies. We'll throw it back to PB. You can start us off again on this round.
Sounds good. This is a tough one, man. These two teams are probably the two that I would look at as have struggled the most so far this season. North Remembers getting beat last week pretty handily by the Dark Looters, losing by 7 stars in that one. And then you've got Killer Bunnies. Again, they're also 0-3. Put up a few more stars against Suomi, who's a decent clan. So I'm just going to go by what they've been doing on the field and give the slight edge to the Killer Bunnies in this one. And I look for them to pick up their first win.
Nice. All right, Ash, what do you got?
I think you really hit the nail on the head there, PB. I feel the same way. My heart wants North Remembers, as I, they've been around longer, and I've met a lot of those guys. But I think that just based on recency bias, I'm also going to go with Killer Bunnies coming off that 1-star loss last week.
All right, it's Jake's turn to be out in the cold.
Ooh.
I am going to switch it up on you guys. Here's my thinking. All right. Yes, they lost last week to Dark Looters. Yes, they've had a rough start. But here's one thing that I've learned along the way, that when you war against the very best, or really when you do anything against the very best around, you learn from that. You pick up things. You see things and like, oh man, did you see how he did that? That's so smart. And you put it in your little bag of tools and you practice it, and then you bring it to the war the next time. And I think you're going to see some of that from Northrop members. They just got a chance to go against the world champions, the best around. Okay, so they're going to pick some stuff up from that. They're going to use it, and they're going to get the win over Killer Bunnies.
I like the passion.
All right.
Immoral Thieves versus Spartan's Legacy. Big war here.
That's a big war. Immoral Thieves has got to be upset losing this week to Elite Gaming. They're going to come out and really bring the fire against Spartan's Legacy, but I don't think it'll be enough. I think Spartan's Legacy's a next tier up as far as quality of clan. They took care of business against Fake Wargasm this week, who's no slouch themselves, but they still managed to pull off a 5-star victory. I look for Spartan's Legacy to move to 4-0 this week against Immoral Thieves.
Yep, I couldn't agree with you more there. Immoral Thieves definitely shouldn't be discounted, even because they lost to us week 3, and everybody had Immoral Thieves trying to take my bias hat off here. I think that they still played really well, and it was a tie, and maybe they just kind of took the win for granted. So I wouldn't really mark that too heavily against them. But I know they want the victory here. But Spartan's Legacy is my pick to win the league, not a dark horse, but the favorite in my mind. So I'm gonna say Spartan's Legacy walks away with another win here.
Yeah, I think you guys got it right. I don't know how you bet against Spartan Legacy right now. Really, no matter who they're going against, they've got a good chance, if not, it's all likelihood that they'll win. Immoral Things, I'm making a lot of enemies today. I'm gonna catch a little hate from this one. In a strange way, even before they lost last week in that super, super close war, I thought they were a little bit overhyped. I thought they were getting a lot of attention, and not that they're not a top tier clan, they are, but I thought, man, they're not. Who have they played? Who have they really shown out against? And you look at the schedule and it's like it's not happened yet. So not that I don't think they're good. I do think they're good. I don't think they had that real test yet. And then obviously with the upset by Elite Gaming last week, it's like, man, I don't know. Not trying to just cause an enemy here because I think they're an awesome clan. But Spartan's Legacy going to get the win. And I think it's going to be a pretty easy win. 4, maybe 5 stars, something like that. So,
all right,
I made yet another enemy.
I think it's back to you, right? Starting off.
I'm calling for Jake's head on a pike.
Bye Forever versus Bada Bing Clan, another one that I'm super hyped about.
Nice. Bada Bing is an interesting cat. They seem to be inconsistent. Like you never know which clan's going to show up to the war. They've got a lot of potential there, but I just haven't seen the consistency that I'd like from them. Whereas Bye Forever, same kind of story. They had some interesting pickups right before the season went live that really strengthened their roster. And I'm liking what I'm seeing out of that camp over there in Bye Forever. They're much improved from last season. And I really think that they'll probably rebound from last week's loss to get some stuff done in week 4. I look for Bye Forever to take that victory.
Nice. How about you, Ash?
Yeah, I think it's going to be me and Powerbang here against Jake, because I'm also going to go with Bye Forever. If you look all the way back to 2 weeks ago, to week 2, Bye Forever, 2-star loss to Spartan's Legacy. Man, that's a good loss for them, and they've been strong every week. So Bada Bing coming off that kind of pseudo bye week this week where they haven't played yet. Who knows exactly what's going on? I don't know where their head's at. They're hard to get a pulse on, kind of like Powerbang said. So I'm also going to go with Bye Forever here.
Yeah, I think you called it, man. I'm going to be the odd man out again here. I think you're right though, Powerbang. I think Bada Bing Clan has been sort of inconsistent, but people find their group. They sort of get, a few wars under your belt. You sort of find that mesh that everybody sort of lost in the off season or whatever. And then, Bye Forever has just let me down. I'm sorry. Rig, I'm sorry. You guys have let me down. I've been backing you all season, and it's nothing besides bit me. So, Bada Bing Clan with the close win.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the next group here, moving into the last 4 matchups for week 4. We've got an interesting one in the Swarm versus Tactical Inc. Ash, who do you got in that one?
I have the Swarm in this one, PB. I think the Swarm is in that very top tier. Nothing against Tactical Inc. Tactical Inc. did, again, I remind you, upset, or they didn't upset me. They upset my pick, but they actually lost last week to Midwinters. So coming off the loss against the Swarm, a really, really tough matchup again for Tactical Inc. here. I'm going to pick the Swarm. I think this one is a pretty decisive win for the Swarm. Jake?
Yeah, I agree. I won't waste anyone's time. I think you nailed it. Swarm's going to win this one.
Sounds good. He was just strategizing on how not to make an enemy out of this one.
He's like, how can I make more enemies here?
You guys? No. All right. So in this one, again, I agree with both you guys. It's a very clear-cut favorite in this one. The Swarm has been operating on another level all season long, and we've also had a chance to see them on the battlefield twice in recent weeks. And solid clan, to say the least. So I got the Swarm in this one as well. Next matchup, I believe, is probably the war of the week. That's just my personal opinion, not speaking on behalf of the league here. But War and Glory versus Dark Looter Z. What do you got, Ash?
I don't think it's the war of the week. I think Dark Looter Z really impressed me last week. And I said last week on Jake's channel that Dark Looter Z has the name brand. We know they're good, but how close are they to Dark Looters? You know, like, are they top tier or are they just below that? And I think last week they proved that they're top tier. So I'm going to go with Dark Looter Z, and I think it's a several star victory.
Yeah, no, if there's ever been a definitive statement in at least season 2 of the CWL, they made it last week that, yes, we are a top-tier clan. Because, again, I think some people could have picked Dark Looters Z for the win there, maybe a possible slight upset. But the bottom line is I don't think anybody picked them for that margin of victory, a 6-star win there. So super impressive, super strong clan. War and Glory, I like them. But, tough loss last week. I think Dark Looters Z is going to be on a roll here and really going to put it on them.
It's interesting, man. I'm really torn on this particular pick. For me, it's a pick 'em. Dark Looter Z is very much so a top-tier clan. They showed it last week against OneHive. Again, we know from personal experience, having played them as well. They're a solid bunch. Ash, I had those same questions. Is like, are they as good as Dark Looters? I don't know that I put them in that category, because I know that when they play friendlies, Dark Looters consistently comes out with the win. But they're definitely super competitive, very top tier. War and Glory, I would say the same thing about. War and Glory, very, very good clan. The mid-season CWL champion. Plus, I've seen them just keep kicking butt in like these 5v5 tournaments, consistently putting teams in the championship. I don't know, man. I think I've got to go with War and Glory in this one.
Wow.
Ooh, all right.
In a draw on percentage.
What do you think about War and Glory losing to PWC last week? I think we all had War and Glory, or at least I think I did.
I felt like PWC brought the PWC that people expected them to bring. They put up 114 stars and almost 96% total destruction. Yeah. And that is a tough performance for anyone to catch. That's like,
true.
That's what War Whales has been doing all season, that basically took care of the Dark Looters.
Very true.
I felt like PWC came out and put up a magnificent performance. War and Glory, in a loss, still put up 113 stars and 94.25% total percent, which is a very respectable performance. And that was their first loss of the season.
That's very solid logic there.
I agree with you. There's no question. I'm not doubting War and Glory. I know they're a good clan.
You know what? I lied. That's their second loss. Now that I think about it, they've lost twice.
Yeah. There's no question they're a good clan, though. And after last week, there's no argument that obviously OneHive did not have our normal performance. I mean, we were off our game, so that does count for that. But still, I just, after experiencing it, after warring them, I think these guys are way up there. I think they're going to be a handful for War and Glory.
I can respect both choices. As I said, I lean right in the middle on that one. It's a pick 'em for me. But just to be different and try to get a point up on you guys this week, I'm going to go with War and Glory.
I like it.
We got one more that I'll handle, and then I guess Jake can do the last matchup, I suppose. But we got North Watchers and Reddit Omega.
Am I up?
Yeah,
okay.
Up there.
My bad. This is a A tricky one, I guess, but I'm going to go with North Watchers here. I picked North Watchers last week. I think North Watchers turned a lot of heads at the end of last season. I think they're carrying that momentum into this season. I think they are going to walk away with a victory here against Red Omega.
Yeah, I'll have to go against you there. I think that Reddit Omega is just, man, they're just so good. They really are. Again, they've only had the one star loss to OneHive in week 1. It was super close. They actually were in control of that war for a period.
Crap. I have to change my vote.
I've talked to you.
Is that allowed? Dude, I always confuse Reddit Omega with the Reddit Alchemy.
Gotcha. Okay, we're gonna give you. We're gonna give you a pass.
We thought you were getting thrown a bone, but sorry. Ash is changing it up.
I still feel that way about North Watchers, but Reddit Omega's beast mode.
Man, so you just made an enemy. I feel so much better now because
they're not beast.
You have really made an enemy at a level that I have not achieved yet.
No, what are you talking about? I've simultaneously offended Reddit Alchemy, North Watchers.
Yes, exactly. That's my point. You really just pissed a lot of people off all in one swoop. So yeah, I'm going to give you the thing. But anyways, my pick doesn't change. Reddit Omega, pretty easy win for them if they perform like they have been.
Wow. I don't know how to follow that up. Sorry, North Watchers. You can direct your hate to Ash this week.
I'll be the fall guy. It's okay.
I'm also going to go with Reddit Omega. They're super, super solid. The stats back that up, and they had a tough loss in week 1 against a super, super quality opponent. But other than that, they've been dominant, putting up 113 stars of war. That's just a tough ask for any clan, and I feel like Reddit Omega is going to walk away with this one.
Yep, I agree. All right, now we'll go to the last one here, and we'll let Ash go if he wants to.
Well, now that I've insulted Red Alchemy already, I'm gonna go with WHF so I can double down.
Oh my God! Reddit Alchemy versus WHF. And we'll go with WHF here. Okay.
Now, honestly, I don't think that Red Alchemy is a bad clan by any stretch, and WHF is struggling. So this could kind of be anybody's war. It wouldn't be a bad pick for an upset for Red Alchemy, but WHF, I have an inside source, a friend of mine who's in that clan, who told me that they actually played pretty well, considering for most of the war, as compared to previous weeks where they've actually pulled off victories. So I'm actually going to go with WHF here, back to their winning ways.
All right, Powerbang, what do you think, buddy?
I like Reddit Alchemy. They're a solid clan. I like WHF in this matchup. This last weekend against Kancha, man, we literally just smoked them on the 9s, smoked them on the 10v10s, played them about even on 10v11, and then we just dropped the ball on the dips this week and lost that war, it's one of those where it's just a heartbreaker because you literally outplayed them the entire time, and then the result doesn't show in your favor. So frustrating to say the least. I know the guys in-house are putting a lot of effort forth to correct things and get the ship righted. Came out and beat Elite Gaming this week at a disadvantage. Put up 115 stars in that one too, with 2 Town Hall 11 triples and 6 10v10. So I like where we're at. I know we have the capability. It's just a matter of putting it together on the weekend to try to get that W. So I like WHF in that matchup against Reddit Alchemy. I hope we can walk away with this one.
All right, so both of y'all, and before I make my pick, I want to thank Powerbang for coming on the show for the last time. I really do appreciate it, man. No, honestly, I'm going to pick Reddit Alchemy here, and I'm going to tell you why. Yeah, it's nothing against WHF. I know the talent pool at WHF. I know it almost, I think, better than attacking is the base building at WHF. It's always been top notch. But here's the problem. I said last week that WHF, started off, I know that you didn't have a great season 1, and season 2, you guys wanted to come out and say, no, enough of this crap. We are a top tier clan. And I said last week you had to get that win, and not even just a win, but a convincing win, just to start that momentum, just to start that train moving in that direction. And it just didn't happen. So I just got to, I don't know. I think Reddit Alchemy has sort of had that momentum going their direction. Rough start, but they're a good clan. I'm going Reddit Alchemy in a close one, really close, but I'm going to make the pick.
Like your picks, gentlemen. I hope to prove you wrong.
Yeah.
No, I do too.
Break it up, guys. Break it up. Break it up.
Honestly, I would like nothing more for WHF to win and prove me wrong on that one. I really would. I mean that. All right, guys. Thank you so much again, and thank you, Powerbang, for the last appearance. I do appreciate it, man. I know that you're a busy man, and especially if I'm right on that, I doubt we'll see you back.
Oh, I'll be back. I'll come
joking.
hang out. Unlike some folks, I can handle being picked against. It's quite all right. We'll use it for fuel for the fire.
No, I'm just joking. Thank you guys. Seriously, Ash, Powerbang. Really appreciate it. Guys, hope you liked it. Until next time, Jake, Powerbang, and Ash doing our best to help you guys suck less.